I'm the kingpin, top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin.
Hey everyone, welcome to Zak Dislyte. I'm Zak. This is my very first Dislyte video. I was doing content for Raid that was going pretty well, but this game came out. I'm falling in love with it. So I'm pretty excited about sharing with you why I picked Tang Shan. Yes, I did look up the pronunciation of his name. So Tang Shan instead of Li Ling. So the Esper that I didn't choose is Li Ling here. He's a great farmer, and he also has attacks that scale off of max HP, which is a very strong thing in this game. So, and would be, strong in any game because the stronger your enemy gets, the more HP they're going to have. So the more true damage this guy's going to use. Anyway, his A3, or as they'd call it here, I don't know what they call it here. So his A3 attacks all enemies 3 times, each dealing damage equal to 38% of attack, plus true damage equal to 6% of the target's max HP. So the stronger and the more HP the enemy has, the harder this hits. And it's true damage, so it's not being blocked by defense and things like that. So he's very strong. He's a very good champion. The true damage is up to 80% of Neza's attack. I don't know what that is. And the last strike steals 10% of the target's AP. So that's turn meter in other games. I came from Raid. We say turn meter, we say A3. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. We call them champions. Hopefully that doesn't screw anybody up. But if I say a champion, I mean an Esper. It just kind of goes that way. So his Tai Chi, which is his second move, attacks an enemy 5 times, each dealing damage equal to 36% attack, with 50% of the damage being dealt converted into healing, and each strike is 6% of the target's max HP. Again, that's like 30% there. The other move was like 18%. I assume these skill up. If they do, that's kind of crazy. And again, something about Neza's attack. And then deals damage on its basic. Deals damage to an enemy equal to 130% of attack and absorbs 15% of their AP. So why didn't I reroll for Li Ling? Other than the fact that I didn't want to reroll. That takes time, and I was just getting into the game and having fun. So I really didn't want to go through all that trouble. But why didn't I do that? It's not because Li Ling's bad. He's great. If you roll him, go for it. So why did I choose Sun Wukong, or Goku, from Dragon Ball? Tang Shan. Why did I pick him? Let's take a look at his A3 real quick. It grants Scorch, Death, and Shackle enchantments for 2 turns before attacking all enemies. So it's an AoE attack that hits twice. That's really good. Each dealing damage equal to 60% of attack. Now, because it hits twice and it's all enemies, so because this hits all enemies twice, we could put a stun set on him or stun relics on him, and this will give him a good chance of controlling the enemy. Then what the Scorch does, the Death does, and the Shackle does, basically, they are undispellable, so nobody can strip them off of him. Then when he attacks the enemy, you get to do extra stuff to the enemy, and it even works during that move. So he can inflict disease, which makes it so that they can't heal themselves, and he can also inflict defense down on the enemy. Defense down is really, really powerful. It helps you just deal a ton more damage to the enemy. And then the Death gives him additional damage equal to 5% of the target's max HP. So again, that's very strong. It's based on the HP of the enemy, just like Li Ling's. Not quite as strong as Li Ling's, but it's still there as well. Then you go in with the A1 usually. You're going to attack the target with 120% of attack. And then you're also going to attack 2 more targets with 50% of attack. So not a huge hit on the other targets, but I see that take out like low health enemies all the time. But again, it grants Scorch, Death, or Shackle enchantments prior to each attack for 1 turn. And then he imbues damage with all current enchantments. So I'm not 100% sure what that means, other than the fact that when he has Death on, he's going to be doing that target max HP, things like that. So you do that so that you don't wipe off your enchantments, but when they're on their last turn, you use the A2, absorbs all current enchantments, and grants a shield with strength equal to 10% plus 5% of max HP per enchantment absorbed for 2 turns. In other words, big old shield on himself. And then he's dealing damage equal to 200% of attack. This attack restores HP equal to 10% of the caster's max HP per absorbed enchantment. So he heals himself. So very similar to Li Ling in that way. Now, I'm not saying he's better than Li Ling. They both have this attack, increase ally attack by 30%. What do they call that? The captain ability. They both have that. Li Ling, again, very strong, great farmer. Tang Shan also can farm as well. So he's also a good farmer, but not as good as him. But let me show you what happened and why I decided to go with Tang Shan instead of Li Ling. All right, so here we were, 10 pull time to get the guaranteed legendary. It's going to either be Li Ling or it's going to be Tang Shan. And, you know, I'm really excited. I know I'm getting a legendary, so I'm not surprised to see gold there. And, you know, the characters start running through and, you know, I'm like, hey, these guys look pretty sweet. You know, Unki Chai, he looks pretty awesome. He's like the old guy from Dragon Ball 2. You know, so I'm pretty excited. I'm getting this stuff and, you know, I'm waiting for gold. I'm like, come on, Li Ling. I'm hoping for Li Ling. And it was Tang Shan. So I was a little disappointed. And at this point, I'm like, gosh, what should I do? Should I re-roll? Shouldn't I re-roll? And then this happened. I got another legendary in that first 10 pull. And then I look him up too, and it's Narmer, and he's like S plus in a lot of areas, at least according to what other people thought. I was like, what do I do? Do I go re-roll and get, you know, Li Ling and, you know, hope I get super lucky and get an epic or another legendary with them? Or do I go with this OP legendary that came with, you know, the guaranteed legendary? So, you know, to me, it was a no-brainer. I looked up Narmer and, you know, he was S plus in a lot of areas of the game. He was only like an A plus as a farmer, but, you know, I was like, I know who I'm 6-starring first. I'm going straight for Narmer. You know, he's one of the top DPSs in the whole game. And I've got him and Tang Shan together. You can't hope for a better start than, you know, 2 legendaries. So was it the right decision? Who knows? But to me, it was the right decision to go with 2 legendaries. I know they're at a 1% chance when you're pulling. So, you know, the odds of me getting another one for a while were not very high. So, yeah, that was my choice. Narmer the farmer. And I'll be honest, I'm not disappointed in him. He absolutely cracks. He just busts up people. There's a slight delay because you have to wait for his Burning Suns to build up. But really, you don't have to wait very long, at least once you start leveling up his skills and stuff. So let's take a look at him as well. All right, so here's Narmer, and let's take a look at his skills. All right, starting with his A3, deals damage equal to 90% of attack on all enemies. This attack consumes all of Ra's Burning Suns. These are the things he's going to build up and stack as he does damage. And each Burning Sun increases the damage dealt by 7%. If Ra has 5 or more Burning Suns, then this attack ignores 40% of the enemy defense. That's huge. That's the same as having defense down on the enemy. So incredible. If Ra has 8 Burning Suns, then this attack reduces all ability cooldowns by 1 turn. That does not mean his. That means the whole team's. So, you know, he's not only absolutely cracking everybody, but your healer gets back faster, your stunner gets back faster, all that stuff. They did put it at 8 turns, so a lot of times you have to make a choice between, do you want to crack it when you're at 7, or do you want to crack it when you're at 8? So a lot of times I choose 7, but in certain situations, I know I need to get defense up back sooner. I know I need to get my healer back sooner or that stun back sooner, and I'll wait 1 more turn to do it. And I've got it skilled up so far to level 4. He's the one I'm spending all my skills on. And I want to get that cooldown reduced by 1 because the first time you use it, you get to use it freely, but after that, you have to wait a little longer than it takes to build up the Burning Sun. So you're pretty much always doing it at that 8 stack. All right, so here's his passive, and this comes into play big time. Stacks 2 Burning Suns at the start of each turn. It starts out as 1, but I used a skill to get that higher. Each buff received stacks 1 Burning Sun with a maximum of 8 stacks. So you're basically, when you get to do an attack, you're getting 3. You're going to get 2 automatically, and then 1 when you do the attack. And then as A1 deals damage equal to 120% of attack to an enemy while stealing 1 buff and 100% chance of granting attack up for 2 turns. The cool part about this is you're setting yourself up for more damage. So you're already stacking those Burning Suns. So by using this A1, you're going to, be increasing your own attack as you add this attack up. And this attack actually hits really hard as well. So you quite often take out an enemy with it before you do your AoE. He's a very, very powerful DPSer. I can get the damage up 1 more time to that 130. He doesn't start this high, of course. He starts at 100%. Then it goes up to 110, I believe. And then on this one, the damage equals to 90 and all that. That came up from 75%. So obviously I've only pulled the 1 Narmer, and I'm not going to wail out that way. I'm not going to just spend all my gems getting champions. So the odds of me getting a ton of him to build up those other areas are not very high. I'm not going to be a whale. So let me know what you thought of me pulling 2 legendaries in that first 10 pull. Are you disgusted? Are you super mad at me for the luck that I had? Or are you mad at me because you think I should have rerolled and gone for Li Ling anyway? But this is why I went with Tang Shan. And yes, I'm really happy with my decision. 2 legendaries right out the gate. I really love the way my teams are shaping up. I'll share some more videos with you of the other pulls that I've done and some of the other champions that I've built. And I'm really, really excited to be doing these videos about Dislyte. This game is fantastic. Coming from Raid Shadow Legends, this is a breath of fresh air. In that game, I've got 3 years into it. I'm, top 1% as far as like having the champions of the game, and I've done that without spending on shards. So that just shows how much I've played that game. So to even consider switching to another game is kind of a big leap, but I really, really like this game, and I like the fact that it's fresh and new, and Raid Shadow Legends is getting really stale for me right now. So yes, let me know in the comments, how disgusted are you with this pull? To be honest, I'm pretty disgusted with it. I might comment on my own video to say how disgusted I am with this. I'm sure there's other people out there that even pulled more than 2 in their first pull, because probably millions of people are playing this game now. But for me, I'm super excited. I'm super stoked. Great start to the game. I'm ready to get in there, do some content for you guys, have a lot of fun. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell. Let me know that you want me to stick around and keep doing this content. I would really appreciate the encouragement. So I'm Zach, and I hope you guys have as much luck as I've had with your summons, and have a great weekend.
I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent, while I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin.